That's 1892, the oldest house. It was done by a very important Alameda builder named Denke, D-E-N-K-E, who was a West End builder. He was on Webster Street. He didn't do much in the East End. But that's, and we'll see a few other houses of that time. Now, if you look at that, that's a very typical, what was called a cottage then, because it's not two full stories. But you can see how the main living floor is raised up above the ground, and actually the basement, high basement so-called, it's known as a high basement cottage, has been finished off a bit. But, and then if you turn around and look over here, the light greenhouse right here, which is 3215, I believe, that's one of Hillen's early bungalows on the street. And do you notice that how it's come down to earth? There's no raised basement. And that's certainly, I think there's two things going on there. One is like it's economical. It's like it costs a fair amount of money to build a whole sort of like, raised basement area. But also it's part of the arts and crafts, close to nature thing. I mean, you're down close to the ground. You can walk outside to your garden. But I just want you, this is a very good example of the first phase of bungalow that Hillen did on these streets. And if you notice the kind of brackets, the brackets are what are underneath the eaves, the overhanging part of the roof. You can see they're triangular with a central diagonal piece that comes out. That's the signature element that you will see repeatedly today on his earlier houses. That was kind of one of his signatures. And actually that sort of vertical decorative pattern in the gable, I like it. I'm not sure what it means. If anybody has an idea why or what that is, I'd be glad to hear it. But it's, you can see that at this point, it's not, because the pure arts and crafts aesthetic is letting the materials speak, so that the beauty comes from brick and stone and wood and shingle, and you don't need to have decoration applied. But you can see here that here's a bungalow, but it has little decorative qualities. The rafter ends over the porch have these sort of, carved ends, and then you have that decorative pattern in the gable. And actually, so, I mean, most arts and crafts houses had some decorative touches like that along with the fine materials. Now, if you look to the left, that's not by Hillen. That is a bungalow from the 20s by another builder who did a lot of houses in this part of town named Bergner, B-U-R-G-N-E-R. He was a Victorian architect who late in his career shifted to arts and crafts and bungalows. And this is very typical of a 20s bungalow, and we'll see it with Hillen himself, whereas bungalows started as what you might call the crafts